skill number 1, very simple. We're going to see if you guys can perform what's called the frying pan. So you're going to put your hand out nice and flat, place the ball on top of your hand, you're going to throw it up, so you can get the ball to land back on your flat hand. Throw it up, get the ball to land back on your flat hand. Keep that hand nice and flat out. You've got to make it like a frying pan. You can start to shake the ball up, and you can flip it like you're tossing a pancake. Throw it up, catch it back on there, shake it up, throw it up, catch it back on. Okay? For those that find this a little bit hard, make it 2 hands. Give yourself a little bit more space. Shake it up, throw it back onto the frying pan. And for those that are lucky enough to have a racket, all of these skills you can be doing with a racket also. So shaking it up like you've got a frying pan, flick it up, catch it, flick it up, catch it, flick it up, and catch it. Okay? You might have some other utensils at home that might be able to help you to do that. There's no reason you can't use a real frying pan or a large book. But again, all you need is a hand and a sock ball, and you should be able to access these drills. Okay, I'd like to spend the next 2 or 3 minutes practicing the frying pan. Okay. Skill number 2, these are called sups, like keepy-ups in football. So for this one, using your racket if you've got one, can you just keep the ball bouncing up on the racket? Like we said, you don't need a racket. There's no reason you can't be doing this with your hand. Can we keep the ball up? And if we find this easy, can we switch it onto our left hand? Again, using that flat palm. And then from there's no reason why we can't try and mix it up a little bit. Maybe do 2 on this one, 2 on this one, 2 on this one, 2 on this one. Or even just juggling from left to right. You can challenge yourself a little bit, try and hit it up a little bit higher. And remember, coordination is your ability to use 2 or more body parts. So if you find it really easy, can we do it whilst jogging on the spot? Could we do it whilst jumping? Could we do it whilst doing some side kicks? Or even spinning around in a circle? Keeping the ball up as we go. If you can master this, the rest of the game becomes a little bit easier. If you are using a racket, just to help you, try and hold the racket using a shaky hand grip. So hold onto the racket like you're going to shake it, and then twist the racket up so that your fingernails are pointing towards the sky, and we're working the racket up and down. Don't chase the ball up here. Keep the racket in line with your waist. The ball will come to you. Okay, if I start moving it up here, I'm going to change the angle of the racket. I'm going to send it over the top. Try and keep your hand nice and low so the ball drops down to your racket. And exactly the same with your hand here. Keep your hand in line with your waist or your belly. Try not to chase the ball up here because it gets a little bit more difficult to do your subs. Okay, can you spend the next 3 or 4 minutes giving it a go? Remember, show your resilience value. You might not be able to do it straight away, but with practice, you'll definitely make improvements. Okay, next skill. We're going to try and use different parts of your hand. So rather than just using the palm of our hand that we created for the frying pan, we're now going to try and use different parts of our hands. These are called reverts. So you're reverting the racket from the front, or your hand from the front to the back. I'm going to see if you guys can start to use different parts of your body. Remember our definition for coordination, the ability to use 2 or more body parts at the same time. So the simple version, keeping your sups going. When you're ready, flip one onto the back, and then back to your sups. Keeping your sups going, flip it onto the back, and back to your sups. And flip it over again, back to your sups. Same with a racket, fingernails to the sky, keep it up. Fingernails to the floor. Fingernails to the sky, keep it up. Fingernails to the floor. Okay, so these are called reverts. We have got some progressions with those. So if you get really good with your strong hand, there's no reason you can't do front and back, front and back, front and back, front and back, front and back. Same again with the racket. Front and back, front and back, front and back, front and back. Quick point with this, try and get the face of the racket or the palm of the hand always pointing up to the sky. And as you flip it over, you want to do the same again. Back of your hand pointing up to the sky, or the face of the racket pointing up. Once you start to make angles, the ball is going to start moving off in different angles. And then the final progression is moving it from reverts to your right hand and your left hand. So we're using those 2 body parts, so it's front and back, front and back, front and back. And then trying to do the same with your weaker hand. Again, you can just mix it up in between, front and back, front and back, front and back, front and back. Again, these skills are not necessarily going to be easy. Work away at them. See how well you can do, see how much improvement you can make. Give reverts a go. So moving on to our next drill, we're now looking to see if we can use different parts of our body to keep this ball up in the air also. Okay, for those that are into your football or your soccer, we're going to see if we can use different parts of our body to keep the ball up. This is called the head, shoulders, knees and toes drill. So we're going to start simply going back with our sups. See if we can hit the ball up, use our head and back to our sups. Hit it up, use our head, back to our sups. If you're still struggling with sups, don't do the sups, throw it up, head it, catch it. Throw it up, head it, catch it. Keep your eyes open and try and use this part of your head. The ball's very soft, it's not going to cause you any sort of issues. Okay. Next one, we're going to go for our chest. So we're going to throw it up, chest, throw it up, chest, throw it up, chest, trying to keep that ball up. Again, those that have watched our bone hacker, by now you should know the bones in our chest are called our ribs, our sternum and our clavicle. And we've also got our scapula just over the back. So you could be trying to use those as you go through. Oh, that's a bad example. But we're trying to use these different bones to keep this ball up in the air. Okay, again, no reason why we can't just go for throwing it. Next one, we're heading down towards our quadricep muscle or our femur bone. So we're here, just trying to keep the ball up, using these different parts of our body. Simpler version, just throw it up and give it a thigh. For those that find it a little bit easier, see if you can put your sups in between, maybe even rotating your sups. See if we can even rotate our legs over. So here, keeping it up. And then the final one, and this one is a little bit more tricky, trying to use our phalanges or our metatarsals. Can we throw the ball up, give it a kick and catch it, throw it up, give it a kick and catch it, throw it up, give it a kick and catch it. It's a lot more difficult when you go for sups. So here, kick, catch it, keep your eye on the ball at all times, kick it up, catch it. Okay, if you can do all of those, then you get to try the head, shoulders, knees and toes challenge. So the head, shoulders, knees and toes challenge means you use one sup in between. So it's here, head, shoulders, knees, toes, pretty close. I used 2 sups there. But as we said, our value today is resilience. See if you guys can show that heart value. It's fine to make mistakes. Don't quit, pick it up and try again. Okay, taking our coordination skills one step further. Remember the ability to use 2 or more body parts at the same time. So we're going to introduce some different moves here that are to do with using both hands. Okay, so starting with our sups again. From there we're going to see if we can take our hand around the ball and then still keep the ball up. So around the ball, keep the ball up. Around the ball, keep the ball up. Okay, if we can do that, can you go the other way? So first we went from left to right. Now we're going from right to left. And if you can do that, can you try and combine the 2? Round the world and back again, round the world and back again, round the world and back again. Okay? If that's easy, can we try and throw our hand in between the ball? Okay, so here, hands going in between. Oh, as we said, it's fine to make mistakes. Pick the ball up, get yourself going again. So here, hand in, hand out, hand in, hand out, hand in, and hand out. Again, if we're not quite comfortable with sups yet, we can do this by throwing, catching, throwing, catching. And for those that are lucky enough to have a racket, we could also be doing this with a racket. It gets a little bit more difficult. So around, or around, or around and back again, around and back again, or throwing our hand in between, trying to get that coordination, the ability to use those 2 or more body parts at the same time. Okay, so last skill drill for today before we set you a challenge. All right, now I want to see if we can get your legs involved as well. So again, with your sups, keeping the ball up. Once you're ready, you're going to lift one leg and try and keep the ball up from underneath your leg. So here, lift and back up. Here, lift and back up. Try it with the other leg. Here, oh, not quite. Let's try again. So here, lift. Oh, try that one again. So here, lift, back up. Oh, got away with that one. Lift. There we go. Again, there's no reason if we're struggling why we can't throw, catch, throw, catch. Okay, so we'll try that one out with a racket even. So here, swinging the racket underneath, swinging the racket underneath, or even trying to lift up your other leg and putting the racket through your leg. So lift up, other side of your leg. Try it one more time. All right, so if you're lucky enough to have a racket, give it a go. If not, we can be accessing this with our hands and the soft ball that we've made. Remember, coordination is the ability to use 2 or more body parts at the same time. See how well you can develop your coordination today.